All right, folks, we have got a treat for you today. Behind that door right there is a very special guest. His name is Dr. Setup. Hey, man, what's up? Yeah. Hey, come on in, grab a seat. I was actually going to introduce you, but well, let's just go ahead and have you introduce yourself.
Okay, yeah, Dr. Setup, a specialist in setup design.
Very creative, SSD.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyway, what we're going to be doing today is the doctor here is going, that's my cup.
Yours?
Yeah, that's my cup.
Can I have it?
No, you cannot have it. It's my cup. Okay, anyway, what we're gonna do today is we're going to have Dr. Setup here go through your setups and basically just kind of go through what you like. Sorry, what?
Is it always this hot?
Dude, you are throwing me off. Okay, we're just gonna get our crap in order. Let's cue the intro and we're gonna get right into it. This is the first time I've done a video like this, so if you enjoy it, obviously give it a thumbs up. That lets me know if I should keep doing more. What I did is I reached out to the community. I asked them to send in their setups, and like any good doctor, I'll take a look at the patients, see what they're doing well, and what they can improve on. So with that said, let's take a look at our first patient. So our first patient here is ROMYL from Missouri, who uses his setup for gaming, streaming, and his college schoolwork. And I gotta say, he's got a slick looking setup. ROMYL proves one big thing here. You do not need a big fancy, room or office space to have a good looking setup. He is literally sandwiched in between a bed and a closet, and it still looks really good. I also love how the monitors almost look identical even though they are two different manufacturers. For me, one of my pet peeves for myself, I just have to have matching monitors. And when you have two monitors next to each other that clearly don't go together, it just drives me nuts. So this is pleasantly good looking here with two different monitors next to each other. Now, it is worth noting that his desk originally looked like this. It was a brown desk, and what he did was he added a white skin to it. And you can see it just adds a much cleaner, more modern look to it, and I think he did a great job. Now, the other thing that comes to mind as I look at this setup is his controllers and the headset there. So you'll notice that he actually has two different headphones. He's got his gaming headset right here, along with the controllers. And then down here, he has a little area he's built where he hangs his headphones that he uses for everything else. And these are wireless, and these ones appear to be, wired that I presume plug into the controllers while he plays. Now, my thought is, why not move this headset underneath the desk, hang it right next to those headphones, and then since this here doesn't appear to have, this holder doesn't appear to have any charging capabilities, why not just throw those controllers into one of the desk drawers, and then you can just clear that spot off, and it's a smaller desk you're working with, so space is very precious, and that is just one way to clear off, stuff off your desk. Now, you'll kind of notice here on the right, his PC is on the desk, but it's not on the desk. And that's because what he did is he built a nice little extension here as I go through the many photos. He built this right there to prevent him from having to put the PC on the ground, which is what most people would end up doing. Now, this is a streaming setup as well. So you can see we've got the XLR microphone here, which goes right into that box, which presumably is hooked directly to the PC. And then up here, we've got the DepthTech 4K webcam, which is one of my favorite budget webcams on the market right now. My concern of this is the lighting. You can see that pretty much the only lighting he's got on his face is this lamp over here, which it is nice that it doesn't really, stand out much. It kind of blends in with everything, but it's not that great of lighting. Granted, I haven't seen what it looks like on stream. Maybe it does the job, but what I would recommend is getting something like, an Elgato ring light, which that's a little bit more on the pricier end, close to $200. Or you can use these, which you see on the screen, which can also clamp onto your desk. And, so it doesn't take up any desk space, and it will definitely give you more professional lighting for your streams. Other than that, though, I absolutely love what you have done with this setup. well done. And thank you for submitting. Next up, we got Jake's Tech Bytes from Massachusetts, who is one of our mods in the Tech Audit TV Discord. So feel free to join that Discord, link down below, and say hi to Jake. Let him know what you think of his setup. Now, this room's a bit unique because you can see there's a lot going on here. Jake lives here, he works here, he streams here, he games here. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a toilet installed in the corner somewhere and he can literally just live life in this room. But a lot going on, which with how much is going on, you know, in such a relatively small space for what it's being used for, that's impressive. You can't see it in the photos, but there is literally a bed in this room as well. So this is presumably his workstation here where he works, a little bit smaller. You got the HP laptop there. I would say, you know, in terms of desk space, first off, let's see if we can get those remotes off the desk right there. I mean, I assume that this thing in the middle is a drawer that pulls out. Let's throw those in there. And then let's see if we can get some sort of laptop stand. You know, there's one from Grove Made that looks super slick. You could get that, or I'm sure you can find something a little bit more budget friendly, and you can kind of put that on the edge or somewhere along the wall, and that will just look a little bit sleeker. And then I'm also, oh yeah, the headphones. Come on, Jake, that's not how we lay down headphones, all right? I understand it's work. You know, you're only working here, and then when you're done, you know, you're not using it for anything else. And if that's the case, then whatever. But I would say definitely get a headphone holder for this desk. This is a thicker desk, so there's a lot of adhesive ones that you can get on Amazon for, you know, like 12 bucks. And I would just pop one of those on the side, and then you can just hang your headphones there. Looks a little bit nicer. Now, I gotta say, I am a big fan of just a lot of the decor in the room. You know, you got a lot of the Boston sports memorabilia and whatnot. Also a big fan of the Los Santos map in the background. Okay, that's what ties all the gaming together right there. What I'm not so pleased about, Jake, is some cable management issues going on down here, all right? I'll give you a little slack because you got a lot going on in this room and you can only keep so many cables managed without going completely insane. But, you know, I think you know what to do here. A little pickup there. Now, let's focus on this setup because I have a hunch this is where the heart of the room is, the gaming, the streaming setup, all right here. It looks like you've got a green screen that comes up from the floor. You've even got a little bit of lighting right there on the floor that gives your, you know, your green screen some good lighting. I like to see that. What I'm not a fan of, and I imagine you're not a fan of either, is the amount of space you're losing by having that desk in the back, which you're currently using as a way to hold up your monitors and some of your stream lights. So it looks like you've got 2 floor lamps right here that you're using, and then you've got these 2 lights right there. I mean, they're not ginormous, but I would imagine that even these 2 would be sufficient to light up your face, you know, considering you're using a DSLR and you can mess with the ISO settings and whatnot. So what I would focus on if I were you is to find a way to, whether it's the existing mount that you have right now or getting a new one. One of my next purchases, if this was my room, is I would really be figuring out a way to get rid of this desk back here and allow me to push this entire desk right up against the wall. And so that way the monitors, again, I mean, I love how they have that floating effect. And these right here, you know, get some mounts to clamp those onto the desk. And this would look like a clean setup. It's already looking good. The desk itself, I love how it's clean, it's organized. I would just like to, you know, see a little bit less chaos behind here. And I imagine you would as well. So that would be my big recommendation for this room. Otherwise, my goodness, what a room. All these babies are mining Bitcoin, so it's probably paying for itself 10 times over. And yeah, job well done, Jake. Love the setup. Thank you for submitting. Now let's simplify things a bit where we just take things over to Karsten over in Green Bay, where we only have one setup to deal with here. And right off the bat, the one thing for some reason, it just speaks to me. It feels cozy here. And I think it's that lamp. It definitely adds kind of a cozy feel. and the blue, the black, and the white really tied together nicely with the whole room. So I do like that aspect. Now, Karsten says this is used for streaming, gaming, as well as, video editing and content creation. Well, with that, I have some questions here. So we're obviously missing a camera from the setup here, and he did say that he uses a M50 and that he's using it to take the pictures, so that's why you don't see it in the setup. However, I'm wondering where the M50 goes. Is that M50 only used for like YouTube videos, or are you actually using that for streaming? Because if you're streaming, I would imagine there would be some sort of mount somewhere to hold your camera. I'm also interested to see what we could do about this microphone right here. So you've got the mic, however, this mic, where it's positioned, is probably going to pick up more of your keyboard than it is of you, and then you're going to get all that echo in the room and whatnot, that reverb. I would highly suggest dropping, $12, $15 and just getting a basic arm like I have here. I mean, I've got a nice mic and it's still sitting on a like $15 newer mic arm from Amazon. So you can do a lot with a little there. So I would definitely get a mic arm. And I would also look into the lighting a little bit. Looks like you've got a light over here, and then you've got one right here. Now, again, this lamp is cozy. I love the feel. I don't think you necessarily need to move it away from the desk if you don't have to, but I would look into some streaming lights if you are actually taking streaming more serious. And also, if you are switching back and forth between using your camera for, getting different angles and video shots like I do, and then you also have a stream, maybe consider just getting a webcam to stick on top of your monitor, and then that way you don't have to worry about taking your camera on and off and all that kind of stuff. My other question is audio. You've got a Google Home Mini right here, which maybe that's, being used as a Bluetooth speaker, which is fine for, just a lot of different types of work. But if you're gaming, you've got to have some headphones on. Now, Karsten did say that he is using AirPods, which are fine for most activities. But if gaming is an activity, especially a game where you want to hear footsteps and whatnot, there definitely is a difference between using something like AirPods and, actual headphones or something like that. So that's another item that I would look into. But I do love the PC build. It just looks super clean and slick, ties in with the setup nicely. Those are some of the things that I would fix. Also, I forgot to mention keyboard. We are working with the Logitech K120 here, which this is like as entry level as it gets, right? You can type a document, you can do your homework and all that kind of stuff, but it's like a $10 keyboard from Logitech. If you're doing any kind of gaming with like a keyboard and a mouse, absolutely upgrade this thing to a mechanical keyboard. You can even get a budget mechanical keyboard and it will perform way better than a membrane keyboard. The mouse is good. You've got the, looks like the Viper, sorry, not the Viper. Is it the Viper? The Razer, yeah, the Razer Viper Mini right here. That's a solid mouse, but definitely look into getting a new keyboard. Even in that $30, $40 range, you can get a really good keyboard that will be leagues better than a membrane keyboard while you're gaming. But yeah, thanks Karsten for sending this setup in. It looks beautiful. Those are my suggestions. Keep up the good work. And last but certainly not least, we have got Hardware Dynasty all the way from good old Chicago. And boy, is his setup looking nice. I was excited to take a look at this. Hardware uses this setup primarily for content creation and video editing. That's what he's mostly doing here. Looks like he's got two IKEA countertops up here. And overall, I mean, it just looks clean. I love what you did with the wall. Walls are very tricky. They look so simple, but when you actually go to plan out a wall, it's just, oh boy, you've really got to like have your mind made up, because once you go in, you're in, right? Like you've got holes in the walls. I mean, in this case, you're actually running your speaker wiring through the wall, which I love. You don't have any cables dangling there. Cable management, you've done really, really well with this, except some areas where you forgot to just hide that before taking the picture. Hardware, come on, come on. Oh wait, we got more. We got more over here. I'll let it slide though. I'll let it slide, but we can definitely fix that. The Alex drawers from IKEA, I absolutely love those. I've got the white ones. You've got the dark ones, which for those countertops is certainly the right choice to make here. So one thing that is standing out to me are these little glass shelves you'll see on both sides. It's not that they look bad, they look fine, but they don't seem to serve any kind of purpose other than just sitting there. I don't know if they are screwed into the desk or if maybe you screwed them in after buying it, and if you took them out, there's holes there, then I get it. But if those are just, easily, you could just lift them up and take them off, then I say do that because it just adds to the cleanliness of your setup, and it just really adds to the hovering effect that you have with these monitors. That is one thing I love about this setup, is how your monitors have that floating effect. I presume you have some type of mounts behind your wall. Yeah, looks like you've got a wall mount on there. Like, again, cable management and all of that. Like, this is one of the best I've seen. You're also working in a corner, which I know is complicated because you have like a little power or electrical door right there on the side, and you've got that curtain there in the corner, a little window. Windows can get tricky to work with. What I might consider for this curtain is to maybe get rid of the curtain and replace the blinds behind it with something like a dark, light blocking, whatever the word is, a room darkening shade. That's what I have. You can just push those up and down. So down when you're recording and you don't want any natural light for whatever reason. But the beauty of that, it's not that this doesn't look, it's not like this looks bad, but down here it just looks messy, right? With it's like dragging on the floor and whatnot. So that way you don't have just like an ugly window. It's covered up with a nice shade that you can still open up in the day if you want some daylight, so you're not depressed all the time with how dark it is. Other than that, man, what a great setup. You did a fantastic job. I mean, this is a dream setup for a lot of people, and it's cool what you've built here. Maybe add some baseboards down here, clean up the paint a little bit, but I'm sure that's in the works there. But job well done, hardware. Thank you for submitting this. Let me know what you think of these setups today. If you see anything in today's video that looks really cool, I have tried my best to link to as much of it as possible in the video description. And as a reminder, this is the first time I've done this kind of episode, so if you did enjoy it, let me know, hit that like button down below, and also just let me know in the comments what you thought. If there's anything you disagree with my analysis of these patients, as well as anything you would add. And until next time, my name is Brandon Hassler, and this is Tech Audit TV. Dude, stop drinking out of my cup!